Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV, and we want to move on with our online interview series here with Adventus Mining, and Christian Kargl-Simard, the CEO, is here with us. Hey, welcome and good morning to Canada. How are you?
I'm doing well, Joachim. Nice to talk to you again. It seems like we're doing this every month these days.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot is going on, to be honest, and you have such a fantastic company, so we have to discuss more often. And you always bring out really interesting news, which we have to discuss for sure. And the last news was from the 9th of August, where you announced a new VMS system at Aguasanta, only 4.5 kilometers southwest of the El Domo deposit within the Curipamba project. So how would that fit into your picture here?
Well, when we jumped into Ecuador late 2017, we always thought that there was good opportunity to find additional VMS lenses within the district and grow the resource inventory from the existing 11, 12 million tons to, say, 20, 30, 40 million tons. Mm-hmm. We thought that airborne geophysics was going to be a great tool to accelerate that exploration success. We flew that a few years ago. We have 15 targets through the airborne geophysics. We started drilling for new VMS discovery in May of this year. And 4 holes in to that program, we made a discovery at Aguasanta. First hole ever in that system. It's 4.5 kilometers away from El Domo, as you said, on the main road to El Domo. Very nice looking rocks with anomalous bornite, which we don't see at El Domo. Near surface, same grades as El Domo. And we've expanded our drill program this year to focus on that area and see if we could put some tons together.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So this is a really great start for you, of course. And yeah, I can only imagine if you repeat that like you did in El Domo, this is amazing for the company, of course. So if we are talking already, let's say before we come to El Domo, because this is the real important thing here with the feasibility study going on, you had elections in Ecuador. And I think you could be quite satisfied with the government. It looks like they are pro-mining, and I think they have a very good mining minister, and things are going now, let's say, the way companies want it, right?
Well, in the history of Ecuador, this current government, this next 4 years, is the best backdrop ever to build El Domo. We were pleased with the results with Lasso. Of course, it's uncertain until you see the ministers and the new platform and any changes to policies. But it's really looking good. Very, very strong support from the people of Ecuador for Lasso. So he has north of 70% support. And he's come out recently in August, very supportive of our sector, a priority for President Lasso to move the natural resources sector, and one that he is fiercely going to defend. He's especially focused on projects like El Domo, which during his term can drive significant foreign direct investment and result in mines. We're the next up. The government has indicated that. So $250 million of investment expected over the next couple of years to put El Domo in production by middle of 2024.
Okay, super. So to bring El Domo into production, there are several ways. Let's put it in that case. You can do it. You can do it by yourself. You can do it with partners together. So how is it going with the feasibility study? Because I think this is the key milestone for the next steps to decide what to do, even, let's say, to get taken over, even that might be a possibility. Because I can imagine there are a lot of companies which would really eye onto a project like El Domo.
Absolutely, it is a unique project in the world in mining, but let alone the base metal space. The last time we had an economic update or a resource update was May of 2019. Since then, we've spent close to $30 million Canadian working on the feasibility study, the ESIA, and a new resource. Which will in turn be reserves here with the feasibility study. Rarely do companies go from a PEA to a feasibility study. In our case, our resource was very high quality, and economics are so fantastic that we definitely wanted to fast track to that feasibility study, to a construction decision. So late October, we expect our maiden reserves and the feasibility study. It should look very good. and we expect to submit the ESIA around the same time, starting the clock on our hope to start full-scale construction in the fourth quarter of 2022.
That is already quite fast. So how does it look like then with project finance? Are you already approached, assuming you would do it by yourself?
Yeah, people that know me know that I'm pretty proactive. And if I say this is the most economic copper development project in the world, why wouldn't you be pushing all of the pieces of the puzzle? We ran a process earlier this year. We selected a project financier. We've identified another strategic investor. And so notionally, we have all the money we need to get to commercial production lined up, ready to be announced after the feasibility study comes out. Now we have some interesting developments from M&A interest. So we are working through that, and we need to balance which is the best for the company going forward. So corporately, over the next 6 months, I think it will be very exciting. You should see at the end of the 6 months or sooner the project fully financed, or the pieces announced on how we will fully finance the project. I think the market would be surprised how little equity is required to build this project. Or you may see an M&A transaction of some sort, which puts Kuripamba in the hands of a group that has a construction team or a history of building mines better than we have, with the spin out of all of our exploration assets. I'm not saying that's absolutely going to happen. It depends on the price and all the terms, but we do have very interesting options in front of us today.
That's really interesting, because this is like, let's say, a lot of opportunities on the table here, which is fantastic. And also, I think you are already really well advanced, and not only from the thinking, but what I saw also on in your press release on the 14th July, you purchased already the construction camp facilities for El Domo. So you are really preparing, let's say, for this case or the other case.
Well, if we build it or someone else builds it,
they need it.
Take the point that someone else builds it. They're not going to, warehouse that project for, commodity prices to be $6 a pound someday. They're buying it to build it as soon as possible to add to their slew of mines or their business case. So that camp that we announced is almost perfect size for the size of project. It was used only once, in good condition. It's being stored in a secured facility. It saves us up to $2 million of capital costs, and why wouldn't you do that?
Absolutely. This really makes sense, and saving $2 million is always good. If we talk about money already, what is today cash in the bank? Meaning, are you really able to go completely through the feasibility process, leaving money in the bank, meaning that you are not getting under pressure? Oh, Jesus Christ, we have to finance now because we are getting a little bit short of money.
We had a fortunate event that occurred in July. We had a non-core position in a company called Canstar Resources, exploring around newfound gold, new discovery in Newfoundland. Eric Sprott gave us a call out of the blue and said, is your block for sale? Within a couple hours, we had sold it, which brought an extra $6.5 million into our treasury. That was a big win for the company. Our book value was much less than $1 million. So that extended our treasury to the second quarter of next year. We really do not want to raise equity below $1.27 a share. That was where we raised equity last August. Since then, we've spent close to $30 million. Commodity prices are much higher. We're a couple of months away from a feasibility study. We made 3 new greenfields discoveries. We've arranged financing. For a share price to be 30% lower, it's ridiculous. It's not fair to our shareholders to ask them to put money here at this stage with everything that's in front of us. So that's where we're looking at strategic alternatives. If we raise money below $1.27, it would be because we've exhausted all options, and that's a long ways away to make that decision. So I would not expect any public markets equity financing this year for sure. And only after we have properly assessed M&A versus going it alone, and hopefully after a lot of great catalysts on exploration and the project development side as well. So absolutely nothing in the near term. Lots of great catalysts to get us to hopefully new all-time highs, and so we're looking good there.
Fantastic. Looking good is a really good sentence here to finally conclude the interview. Remind us shortly, when do you think really that the feasibility is coming out?
Yeah, we're currently trending for the third or fourth week of October.
Okay, super. So that's from here, like what is it, 6, 7 to 8 weeks?
Correct, and for sure we'll do another interview after that. We'll take your viewers through that. It should be exciting.
That is absolutely for sure. Super. Well, thank you very much, Christian. That was a great update. And yeah, we have only 7 to 8 weeks patience. And then we see the hopefully fantastic feasibility study, which I'm absolutely sure it will be outstanding, because what you guys provided the last 18 months with drilling and those drill results you had, I mean, this is something I have very, very seldom seen in my career. And so I have a very good feeling that we're going to have big fun with the share price soon.
Sounds good. Take care.
Super. Thank you very much. You too. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Christian Kargl-Simard, the CEO of Adventus Mining. And you heard it. Time to really look into this fantastic stock, because the stock price is way too cheap at 90 to 94 cents. That's really a joke. Christian said it. The last financing was at $1.27. Since then, copper prices, rose by approximately 80 to 100%, and also gold and silver is much, much higher. And to be honest, I see a very, very positive feasibility study, and I could imagine that a lot of companies are queuing to really take over the company or to buy into it as a strategic and to develop El Domo, because this is a fantastic project. This has to be developed into production for sure, and Ecuador with the new government is a great place to be. So I really urge you, make it sooner than later to really have a look into Adventus Mining. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Switzerland.